Hi, and welcome. I'm Susan Patang, and this is the Quiet Zone Coaching. Today, we're going to talk about 4 ways that we can use our attitude to soften the stress of your divorce. So, the first thing that we have to remember about this is that a marriage is the most powerful connection, the most powerful attachment that you can have to another human being. When that attachment starts getting pulled apart, the result is going to be some very intense emotions. Whether or not this is an amicable divorce, it doesn't matter. Okay. What's happening is that everything that you know, everything that your life looks like on a daily level is now going to change. And that is a tremendous emotional change. And it's going to not only cause those intense emotions, it's also going to cause a grief response, and it's also going to cause a lot of stress. So whether or not it's a friendly divorce, it doesn't matter. That upheaval, that change that is so emotionally charged is going to give you some problems. So we are going to talk today a little bit about 4 ways that you can use your attitude to soften that stress of the divorce. Okay. And you've heard about the effects that stress can have on your body. That's not something, first of all, it's unpleasant to experience. And number two, it can cause a lot of health issues in the long term, like problems with your circulatory system, chronic muscle tension, respiratory issues, chronic fatigue, depression, and autoimmune disorders. The list can go on and on and on. So the world itself is crazy stressful right now. Okay. And now we're throwing that divorce stress on top of it. And guess what? Okay. There is always going to be something that is stressful or crazy stressful in your life at any given moment. It's not the stress in your life that becomes the problem. It's what you do with it and how you handle it and how you feel about it that makes it a very bad experience. When you think about it, a stressor is just something that makes you take action. Okay. And being hungry, having to go to the bathroom, or being sleepy, those are stressors too. They force you to want to take action. Okay. It's the distress, that divorce, that separation, that pulling apart of that bond, and the shift in your everyday life that is going to make life suck. Okay. And make you sick. So here are some techniques that you can use right now to stop that distress and start feeling a little softer, okay, and deal with that a little bit. So the first thing that you want to do is develop what I call an attitude of gratitude, okay? Get up and look out of your window right now. Just go take a look. Pause the video if you have to. What do you see? Do you see grass and trees and birds? Maybe you see buildings and sidewalks and technology and lights, okay? No matter what it is, that's amazing. If you stop and think about it, find the awe and wonder and amazement for the beauty and complexity of nature. Be grateful for it. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the miracle of the natural world. And also, have some amazement and awe and wonder for the man-made things too, like the car that drives you around that at 55 miles an hour. It's a box on wheels. Could you do that yourself? You couldn't fly through the air at that speed. That's a miracle. I'm looking around at my desk and I'm seeing my reading glasses and my computer and my Post-its and my files. Okay. Somebody had to engineer and manufacture this stuff. Somebody had to design it. They make my life easier. They're miracles, okay? So be grateful for what those little tiny everyday things do in your life. Find wonder and amazement and awe and gratitude for those little small things. Did you wake up today? Is there water coming out of your tap? Did you get to work on time? How does your lunch taste? Okay. Do you just love the outfit that you're wearing today? And there's a reason to do this that is besides attitude. Okay. And this isn't woo-woo stuff. This is science. Okay. I call it the new car factor. So think about this. When you get a new car, suddenly you notice all the other ones just like it on the road that you might not have noticed before, right? Those cars didn't just magically appear. You're noticing them because now that model is familiar to you. Okay. And in the same way, the more things that we notice in our day that we can be grateful for, the more we will see. Okay. And it's not because they all just suddenly miraculously popped out of nowhere. It's because now we're familiar with the concept of being grateful for things. So you're going to start to notice all these little everyday miracles and wondrous things that you never noticed before. And there's another piece of it too, because when we do that, we have opened ourselves up to more positive relationships with other human beings. And I don't necessarily mean that in the sense of a romantic relationship, although it does apply. People who feel peaceful and grateful in their own lives are going to find those traits familiar in us, okay? And they're going to be attracted to us. They're going to find us to be appealing. So they're going to make contact with you. So those people with those more calm and grateful and positive mindsets are going to start moving into your life and bringing with them better situations. Okay. There is always something to be grateful for, even if it is only, wow, I made it through the day. That was pretty horrible, but I did it. There is always something. I want you to find those things. Okay. And I just mentioned positivity, right? And that's the next thing. I want you to be positive and solution oriented. There are a lot of different ways to look at things. So pay attention to the way you look at things and the way you speak to yourself. Okay. What does your self-talk sound like? Your self-talk is really that little devil that sits on your shoulder and tells you that things are good or that they're bad, or that you're good or that you're bad, or that other people are good or bad or deficient or whatever it might be. So what does your little devil on your shoulder say to you? Does it berate you when you make a mistake? Does it say things like, this stinks, I really don't like this, and things never work out for me, or this is so hard, or I don't want this divorce, or this is terrible? What is it saying to you? Turn those negative comments around as soon as you notice them. Pay attention to that little devil on your shoulder. That's your subconscious, and it's telling you things that deep down you believe, whether or not they're true. Most of the time, that little devil is lying to you. So you want to change, I'm not good at this, or I can't do this, to I'm learning how to do this. I'm getting better at this each time that I try. Okay. And do the same for those negative thoughts that you have about situations or other people. So instead of this stinks, you can say, well, I can tolerate this for a while. I've been through worse. Things never work out for me, can change to, if I keep adapting, I can change how the way things work out. The idea is to look at times when you actually did accomplish whatever it is that you're thinking about. So for example, if you say, I'm learning how to do this, think about other times when you've had to learn to do something new or adapt to something new or a new environment. Okay. And how much better that usually turns out for you. And I know you're saying to me, oh my God, she's one of those people. Being positive all the time isn't very realistic. Okay. Honestly, it is. I want you to remember the new car factor. What is it that you're attracting to yourself? Okay. And also think about this. What would you say to a friend who is feeling discouraged? What would you say to somebody else who is going through a divorce, who is experiencing the things that you're experiencing? Okay. So what would you do? Would you encourage them, or would you talk trash to them? Well, of course you're going to encourage them. So take your own advice. Okay. Find the positives in the situation. If this person doesn't want to be in your life anymore, let them go. And Priscilla agrees with me. Let them go. If you're not happy in this relationship, why are you wasting your life? If you can't solve the problem, now see, here we go about being problem solving. Find the problems and solve them. If the divorce is, if you need to come up with paperwork and stuff like that, if there's a sticky point, look for places and compromises. Look for ways that you can build time into your schedule to find those documents. Look for ways that you can turn that negative into a positive. How do I solve this problem? And again, the more we look for solutions, positivity, encouragement, the more of these we'll experience. Okay, they will become familiar to us. So don't forget the new car factor. The next attitude adjustment that I want to say that you should use is to remember to be kind, okay? Being kind to others doesn't cost us a dime. So think about the last time you did something nice for somebody else. How did it make you feel? Okay. Did you hold a door open for somebody? Did you smile at a stranger? Did you help somebody who dropped something? It felt good, didn't it? How do you think it made the other person feel? So look at that. We've got a double win. Okay. It made them feel good and it made you feel good. It's free. It puts positive energy out into the world and it reduces the stress that you feel. It's making you feel good. We need more of that in the world. So if you're feeling particularly stressed out, and especially if you're starting to feel like the victim, like, oh my God, I can't stand this. This is horrible. What are they doing to me? This is terrible. My ex, blah, 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 blah. Stop and go out and do something nice for somebody else. Okay. Go visit your mom. Help an old lady across the street, or buy your secretary some flowers or something, anything, just to make somebody feel better. It'll make you feel better too. And also, this is the last one. I promise I'll stop talking. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel at the end of the day? I can remember times when it felt really good to yell and scream and rant and rave when I was getting my divorce. Okay. And I was so angry at everybody, the lawyers and blah, blah, blah. I was so pissed off. And it felt good in the moment. But at the end of the day, I felt guilty about A, subjecting other people to my rants. Okay. B, I didn't feel any better emotionally because I had been unpleasant to other people. Okay. I just generated more unpleasantness. C, I set a bad example for my kids. Okay. So I taught them that it was okay when somebody pisses you off to lose your mind and start screaming. Okay. That's not good. That's not the example I wanted to set for my kids. Okay. So how did I want to feel at the end of the day? I wanted to feel confident that I had done the very best that I could in the situation. I wanted to know that I had taken the high road and that I hadn't added any more stress to the situation. Okay, because when I add more stress, it just fuels the fire and takes my stress and blows it up. Okay, right? Does this make sense? So another thing you have to remember too is that it is okay for you to feel those emotions. That of course you're going to feel that way. This is natural. Okay. Of course you're going to be angry and you're going to be resentful, or you're going to be sad and maybe a little depressed and feel some despair about having to start over again. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay to feel those things. It's not okay to let them rule your life. Okay. And that's what I do, is I help people learn how not to let those emotions run their life so that they can get through the divorce in one piece. They can manage the tough days and they can be calm and cool and collected and still get through the process, but set a good example for their kids and come out the other end feeling okay. So if that's something that you would like to do too, what I would like to offer to you first is a first aid kit. I have a divorce first aid kit. It's about 9 ways that you can get control over yourself and your emotions in a really distressing situation, divorce. And it doesn't have to be divorce. It could be any distressing situation. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/anger. And I'm going to put that in this in the comments of this video so that you can find the link. I want you to go there and get your first aid kit, and it gives you some strategies to do exactly what we were talking about here and reframe your attitude to soften the blow and the stress of this divorce. Until next time, I am Susan Patang from the Quiet Zone Coaching. Namaste.